Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Jack, this is JTH Books, and it is time for the very late but very good December book haul. So now, my November book haul was my smallest yet. I'll link that down below. It's my smallest yet. I was quite proud of myself. But December is back. December, we were back, and back in a big way. So I guess there's nothing else to do but show you them. I will go for the ones that I was very kindly and luckily sent by the publishers first, because, as I will say, I'm polite, I've got manners, I was raised correctly. And so yeah, let's just go. Let's just get into these books, because I think we're in the 20s again. We're back up in the 20s, So first up, I'm going to start with 4 books that came from the publisher Fourth Estate. They're very kind to me. They always are. I love their books. They publish some cracking books. And one I'm very, very excited for. And this was also featured in my most anticipated queer reads of 2023, which will be linked down below if you want to check that out. It is Mrs. S by Kay Patrick. Now this comes out on the 8th of June 2023. And I'm very, very excited for it. In an elite English boarding school where the girls kiss the marble statue of the famous dead author who used to walk the halls, a young Australian woman arrives to take up the antiquated role of matron. Within this landscape of immense privilege, in which the girls can sense the slight... In an elite English boarding school where the girls kiss the marble statue of the famous dead author who used to walk its halls, a young Australian woman arrives to... In an elite English boarding school where the girls kiss the marble statue of the famous dead author who used to walk the halls, a young Australian woman arrives to take up the antiquated. In an elite English boarding school where the girls kiss the marble statue of the famous dead author who used to walk the halls, a young Australian woman arrives to take up the antiquated role of matron. Within this landscape of immense privilege, in which the girls can sense the slightest weakness in those around them, she finds herself unsure of her role, her accent, and her body. That is until she meets Mrs. S, the headmaster's wife, a woman who is the polar opposite, assured, sophisticated, and a paragon of femininity. Over the course of a long, restless heatwave, the matron finds herself irresistibly drawn ever closer into Mrs. S' world, and their unspoken desire blooms into an illicit affair of electric intensity. But as the summer begins to fade, both women know that a choice must be made. Yes, I am so excited for this. I don't know what the final cover is like. This is the proof, but even the proof is beautiful. I'm so excited for this one. As you can tell, by the way, I just basically hit you with the book. So, get it on your list. 8th of June. I am so... I got If I Survive You by Jonathan Escoffrey. Now, this is already out in America, but in the UK, it comes out 2nd of February. Again, this was sent to me by Fourth Estate. Very, very excited for this one. I've heard nothing but brilliant things about this one. In 1979, Topper and Sonia flee to Miami as political unrest consumes their native Kingston, but they soon learn that the welcome in America will be far from warm. Chouani, their youngest son, comes of age in a country which regards him with suspicion, greeting him with the puzzled question, "What are you?" Their eldest son, Delano's longing for a better future for his own children is equalled by his own recklessness in trying to secure it. As brothers navigate the obstacles littered in their path, an unreliable father, racism, a financial crisis, and Hurricane Andrew, they find themselves increasingly pitted against one another. Will their rivalry be the thing that tears them apart? Now, I do believe this is like linked short stories. I'm pretty sure it literally just said that. The thrilling linked stories. That's my favourite thing. You know I love that. I love them. I love them when they're linked. Like I said, I've heard nothing but brilliant things about this one. It's out on the 2nd of February in the UK. I'm excited. I told you, Fourth Estate, 2023. They're having a strong 2023. Next up, still from Fourth Estate, we have The Other Side of Mrs. Wood by Lucy Barker. Now, this comes out the 22nd of June 2023, and it is a historical comedy. Mrs. Woods is London's most celebrated medium. She's managed to survive decades in the competitive world of contacting the other side, has avoided the dreaded slips that revealed others as frauds, and is still hosting packed-out seances for Victorian high society. Yet some of her patrons have recently cancelled their appointments. There are reports of American mediums nearly materialising false spirits, and audiences are no longer satisfied with the knocking on tables and candle-through actions of years gone by. And then, at one of Mrs. Wood's routine gathering, she hears something terrifying, faint but unmistakable, a yawn. Mrs. Wood needs to spice up her brand. She decides to take on Emmy, a young protege, to join her show. But is Emmy Finch the naive ingenue she seems to be? Or does she pose more of a threat to Mrs. Wood's reign and, more horrifyingly, her reputation than Mrs. Wood could ever have imagined? Now, these were a very big thing, weren't they, in Victorian glitzy seances, and they were fake. There's that one woman who got arrested many times. She made things come out of her nose. So this is obviously a take on that. You know, I kind of enjoy myself some historical fiction, and I'm very ready for this one. So what did I say? June 22nd? I'll check if I was right, so you know. June 22nd. And it came with some candles, which I have here. Blow out the candles. The seance is about to begin. That scares me, so I'm not going to. But candles. Fourth Estate also kindly sent me this box, and it says, "Have you seen #the list?" Let's open the box, shall we? It come with treats, y'all. You know, I love treats. I love treats. Now, the book is The List by Yomi Adegoke, and it is out in July 2023. Let's see what it's... Oh. Dear Jack, I'm so excited for you to be one of the first people to read The List. Love, Yomi. Thank you, Yomi. I'm very excited to read it. Thank you so much. Let's find out what the book is about, shall we? Ola Olajid, a profile journalist from Women magazine, is carrying the love of... Ola, a high-profile... Ola, a high-profile journalist at Women magazine, is marrying the love of her life in 1 month's time. Young, beautiful, successful. She and her fiancé Michael are the couple goals of their social networks and seem to have it all. That is, until one morning when they both wake up to the same message. Oh my God, have you seen The List? Compulsively page-turning, wild entertaining, and piercing with fearless insight, The List is set to be a hotly debated debut novel of 2023. It's out the 6th of July. It's such a beautiful cover as well. I'm very, very excited for this one. Should we have a look at the snacks? Let's have a look at the snacks. I come with 2 macarons. I don't know why I did the French accent. I'm really sorry. I love Emily in Paris. No, she's not American. She's American. She's not. But look, I'm going to eat them while I read that. Perfect. Next up, I was very lucky to be sent 3 queer non-fiction books for 2023, which, you know, I'm loving the queer non-fiction. So we have Ace Voices, What It Means to Be Asexual, Aromantic, Demi or Grey Ace by Eris Young. All the Things They Said We Couldn't Have, Stories of Trans Joy by T.C. Oaksmonger. And Bisexual Men Exist, a handbook for bisexual, pansexual and M-spec men by Vanit Mehta. This one is out on January 19th. This one is also out January 19th. And this one is out now. As you know, I'm loving queer non-fiction. And I need to learn more about members of my community that As you know, I've been loving queer non-fiction lately. It's going to continue for this year. And I'm very excited to learn more about members of my community that I do not identify as. Because the more you know, the more you can help. The more you know, the more you learn, the more kind you can be. And I'm all about being kind. So I'm very, very excited for these 2. Thank you so much to JKP Gender Publishers for sending me this. Like I said, out now. These are both out January 19th. And I'm just excited. I'm just excited. I was also sent Monsters Honor by Chloe Spencer from Tiny Ghost. I was also sent Monsters on Earth by Chloe Spencer from Tiny Ghost Press. Now, this is a young adult novel. Tiny Ghost Press are queer publishers. They are knocking out some very fun queer stories. After her parents' divorce, 16-year-old Riley Grisham is forced to move from Portland, Oregon, all the way to Little Brook, Maine, a small town that serves as the headquarters for Titan Technologies, an international tech laboratory. Having left her friends and father behind, Riley spends most of her days running through the woods with her dog Tigger and eavesdropping on her classmates, in particular the gorgeous but very strange Aspen Montague. On the night of the homecoming game, Riley wakes up to find her town on fire, terrorised by an unseen monster. With flames spreading rapidly, Riley and Tig have no choice but to pile into a beat-up pickup truck and flee. Speeding out of town, they come across the only other survivor, Aspen. When Riley and Aspen finally reach safety, they realise something far more sinister is afoot. According to the news, all other Titan Tech laboratories on the East Coast have been attacked. But even worse, they're being followed by an SUV with blacked-out windows. Sorry, it's like the tree's in the way. The tree's in the way. I can't see it. With all air travel grounded, Riley has no way to fly back to her dad, so she and Aspen embark on a cross-country road trip, all while being pursued by men with guns, mad scientists, and the monstrous truth. Slowly, Riley realises something's not quite right with Aspen, which puts her feelings for her and her humanity to the ultimate test. That sounds like a very fun, wild, young adult book. Yeah, check out Tiny Ghost Press because they are, if you're looking for sci-fi magical books for younger readers, they're the place to look. I was also very kindly sent by Serpent's Tail, The Disenchantment by Celia Bell. Again, a few of these are in my anticipated queer reads of 2023 video, which is linked down below. But this is a historical fiction. I'm very excited for this one. Two women in 17th century Paris are drawn into the volatile and mysterious affair of the Poisons after a bid to keep their passionate romance a secret results in deadly violence. Everyone connected to the court of Louis XIV has something to hide. For the Baroness Marie Catherine, it is the pleasure she seeks outside of her unhappy marriage, indulging in a more unliberated existence of decadent salons and discussions with writers and scholars. At the centre of her illicit freedom is her lover, Victoria Rose de Bourbon, Mademoiselle de Conti, the androgynous, self-assured countess. When Victory's devotion results in an act of murder to save Marie Catherine, the pair must escape from the clutches of Paris's overzealous chief of police. As they attempt to outwit him, they are led to the darkest corners of Paris and Versailles, discovering lies, mysticism, and people with secrets they too would kill to keep. I'm just ready. You know, I'm after queer historical fiction. This could be it, friends. This could be it. It is out the 2nd of February. Thank you, Serpent's Tail. I'm very, very excited. And I was also very lucky to be sent another Sapphic book from Team BKMRK, which is an imprint of Hodder, I do believe. And it's called The 6 Times We Almost Kissed and the 1 Time We Didn't by Tess Sharp. Tess Sharp wrote The Girls I've Been, which was a quite popular book back in the day. This again was featured on my anticipated queer reads of 2023. 6 fun facts about Penny and Tate. 1, they've known each other their whole lives. 2, their mums are best friends. 3, they are definitely not friends. 4, they keep almost kissing. 5, they don't talk about it. 6, thanks to their mums, they're moving in together. But when almost becomes I am now wearing your lip gloss, Penny and Tate have no choice but to finally face the music, right? A sapphic slow burn romance told through flashbacks about chosen family, queer love and precious moments. Very, very excited. Very excited. I'm just ready. Give me the Sapphic YA. I'm happy about it. And then this one I got from Book Break. Pick it up. I will link the channel down below. And I just thought it sounded so unbelievably interesting. It's called The Archaeology of Loss, Life, Love and the Art of Dying by Sarah Tarlow. And just where I lost my mother. This one I got from Book Break, who very kindly sent this to me, and it's called The Archaeology of Loss, Love, Life and the Art of Dying by Sarah Tarlow. Now since I lost my mum, anything about grief it appeals to me. If you're going to get how I feel about it, I kind of want to read it. Sarah Tarlow has devoted her working life to study death, brutal practices and rituals of grief. She is also a widow. Shortly after her appointment of Chair of Archaeology at the University of Leicester, her partner Mark began to suffer from a bitter, drawn-out, undiagnosed illness, leaving him unable to care for himself. Eventually, 2 weeks after they married, Mark waits for Sarah and their children to leave the house and ends his own life in an extraordinary act of courage and love. Although Sarah is considered an expert in the history and archaeology of death, she will find that nothing could have prepared her for the reality of illness, caregiving, and losing someone you love. A fiercely honest, intimate, and unique blend of professional and personal, the archaeology of loss describes a universal experience with an unflinching and singular gaze. Told with humour, intelligence, and urgency, this is an unforgettable piece of writing. Sounds like something difficult to read. There's obviously going to be some heavy trigger warnings in here, but I'm ready for it. I will be ready. And like I said, anything to do with grief that sort of connects with me, I kind of generally want to read. So, and the paper comes out, it's out on the 20th of April. This one was featured also in my 2023 Anticipated Reads, but it hadn't arrived when I made the video, but it is here now. And it is called Sounds Like Fun, Right? By Brian Moriarty. It did get a bit of damage come through my letterbox, but I'm not going to have a go at the postman. Things happen. Eon is doing great. He's 27, gainfully employed, and in a long-term relationship with his boyfriend, Rich. Okay, so his best friend, Jax, is diving into yet another... The fact that he's kind of got my name, and it sounds like he's going to be like me, is very upsetting. Okay, so his best friend, Jax, it's with an X, not CK like mine, is diving into yet another disastrously bad relationship, and Eon's going to be the one dealing with the eventual fallout. And his boss at the cafe, Rebecca, seems to have vanished, so somehow he's left managing the place. And to be honest, he's got nothing else much going on. But still, he's got his boyfriend Rich. Steady, sensible, and dependable Rich. That is, until his world is turned upside down when Rich announces he wants an open relationship. Terrified of losing the man he loves, he reluctantly agrees to this new arrangement and stumbles into the world of dating with no strings attached. What could go wrong? I'm very excited. Very, 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 very excited. And this comes out on the 30th of March, 2023. So that's it. That's it for the publisher's one. Let's go on to what I was very lucky to receive for Christmas. So a friend at work got me a book, which obviously she knows I love to read, but to buy me a book I think is very tricky because there's a lot of books in here and, you know, if I haven't got it, maybe I probably don't want it. But also, I don't know what I've got, so how do they know? But she got me Malice by Heather Walter, which I do want to read and I haven't got. And this is book 1 of Malice, so there's a sequel. I do know there is a sequel. And I was very surprised and very impressed. You know, she did well because she got me a book that's queer. She probably doesn't know it's queer, but she got me a book that's queer that I haven't got and I want to read. And I do believe this is a Sleeping Beauty retelling. So if you're looking for a retelling, here it is. Once upon a time, a wicked fairy cursed a line of princesses to die. You've heard this before, haven't you? The handsome prince, true love's kiss? Utter nonsense. No one in Bray cares what happens to our princess. I thought I didn't either, and then I met her. Princess Aurora, last heir to the throne, the future queen her realm needs. One who isn't bothered that I am the dark grace, abhorred for the mystery dark magic that runs in my veins. I want to help her, but with a less than year before the curse kills her, any future I might imagine for us is quickly disappearing. And she can't stand to kiss yet another idiotic prince. After all, we all know how this story ends. Aurora is the beautiful princess. I am the villain. That sounds good. That sounds good. Thank you to my work friend. I won't tell her name. She doesn't even know I do this. But I appreciate that. And then a friend of mine actually sent me this from my wish list, which I was so surprised. He made my December. I really, really appreciated it. It was so kind and thoughtful. And it was Scattered All Over the Earth by Yoko Tawada. It's a beautiful cover. Isn't that beautiful? Japan has vanished, and Hiroko thinks she might be the last Japanese person left. Travelling across Europe with a group of newfound friends, a linguist, a student moving between genders, a Greenlander hiding his nationality, and his broken-hearted lover, she pursues a mysterious man named Susanoo, who may be her last chance to once again hear the sound of her native tongue. A playful novel of mutable identities in a changing world, scattered all over the earth, is a synesthetic love song to language and liminality, from a writer of infinite variety and meticulous craft. I think that sounds brilliant, so I'm so thankful I really appreciate it. Thank you. And then from my dad and sister, I got quite a few. So we're bashing these quickly because you're probably bored by now. I got Paris Dallion Court is About to Crumble by Alexis Hall. You all know I'm a huge fan of Alexis Hall. This is about Paris, who is a baker but sort of less of confidence, and his roommate enters him into sort of basically the Great British Bake Off. And he starts doing quite well, but then he gets trolled online and he meets a man on there and they fall in love. And I'm excited. I'm excited because I bake for a living. He's basically me. He's a baker with low self-confidence and loneliness. Hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. Nick and Charlie by Alice Osman. Listen, I love Heartstopper. I want to read this. Everyone knows that Nick and Charlie are the perfect couple. That they're inseparable. But now Nick is leaving for university and Charlie will be left behind at sixth form. As the time to say goodbye draws closer, both boys begin to question, is their love strong enough to survive being apart? After all, first loves really last forever. Well, I don't know about that. That sounds sad. That sounds sad. Next up, I got Boy Parts by Liza Clark. Now, I saw so many people read this last year and I loved it. I had to ask for it for Christmas. Irina obsessively takes explicit photographs of the average-looking men she persuades to model for her, scouted from the streets of Newcastle. Placed on sabbatical from a dead-end bar job, she is offered an expedition at a fashionable London gallery, promising to revive her career in the art world and offering an escape from her rut of drugs, alcohol, and extreme cinema. The news triggers a self-destructive tailspin centered by Irina's relationship with her obsessive best friend, a shy young man from a local supermarket who's attracted her attention. I've just heard people say incredible things about this. I'm ready. In the Absence of Men by Philip Besson, translated by Frank Wine. Honestly, beautiful cover. Beautiful. In the summer of 1916, it's the summer of 1916, and with German Zeppelins on the skyline, the men of Paris are off at war. For Vincent, the 16-year-old son of a prestigious family, the tranquility of the city sits at odds with the salons and soirees he attends. But after an electrifying encounter with the enigmatic writer Marcel P. draws Vincent's desires out into the light, his ever-risky liaisons with the young soldier begin to shape Vincent's future. If you've read Lie With Me by this author, I absolutely love that book, and I hope this will do the same. It's small, it's tiny, it's a really tiny book, it's got a beautiful cover. I also got Before the Coffee Gets Cold, Tales from the Calf by Toshikawa Kawaguchi, translated by Jeffrey Trusselot. I love Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I'm so excited to read its sequel. And there's a new one came out last year, which I'll have to wait for the paperback now, but I'm very, very excited. I feel like a lot of people know about this one, so I won't tell you what it's about, and it is the sequel, so I can't really tell you what it's about. Full cloth-bound edition, which was Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Now, I've never read this. You know, people say she invented the sci-fi genre, so I'm ready to read it. I've heard people love it, and I'm just ready. I'm ready. I don't know how long it is. I don't know. I'm ready. I also got The 10 Loves of Mr. Nishino by Hiromi Kawakami, translated by Alison Markin Powell. Now, as you know, I've loved one by Hiromi. I didn't really like the other. This was the one I always intended to buy. My sister got it me for Christmas, and I'm very, very excited. Over the course of his life, Mr. Nishino falls hopelessly in love again and again. One woman is a colleague, another a chance encounter. One is the girlfriend of a classmate, another the best friend of Nishino's latest conquest. Some are entranced by Nishino. Others care more about Over the course of his life, Mr. Nishino falls hopelessly in love again and again. One woman is a colleague, another a chance encounter. One is the girlfriend of a classmate, another the best friend of Nishino's latest conquest. Some are entranced by Nishino. Others care more for their freedom, their children, or their cats. Through their stories, we meet a curious and complicated man whose great capacity for love may well be the cause of his downfall. That sounds good. I'm ready. I hope I love this one. I really, really hope I love this one. And then I have to find out if Hiromi Kawakami's got any more books out, because if I do, I will be buying it. Oh, there's one more. People from the Neighbourhood. So there's one more I could read, if I like this one. And then, because my best friend's partner said to me, how can you read if you haven't read this book? And I was like, don't make me cry. So I asked for it for Christmas. And it is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. Over 15 million copies sold. This is the 42nd anniversary edition. So I'm now one of the 15 million. I suppose you all know what this is about. You're probably a bit shocked that I haven't read it, maybe. But I had to. After you said that, I had to have it. I know I'm going to love it. So... And lastly, I bought myself in December, which I know I shouldn't have. But only one, and it is a manga. And it is Restart After Growing Hungry by Kawakami. And it is the sequel to the other book in this series, which obviously I can't remember, and I haven't read it, obviously. It's Restart After Coming Home. That's what it is. That's what it's called. And this is Restart After Growing Hungry. So I haven't read them, but they look beautiful. I'm ready to read them. I haven't read any manga because I'm scared, because I keep buying it because I think it's going to be it for me, but it might not. It might not be it, and then I might not like it. So just I'll get there. I'll get there. Make sure I get there, friends, okay? Please. Thank you. So that's it for me. It was quite a haul, wasn't it? I was very lucky. I'm so lucky. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. My family are very generous. I also got some gift cards for Waterstones, so watch out for those hauls. But thank you to the publisher that sent me them. Thank you to just my friends, and thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe. And I'm going to speak to you all really, really soon.